Howdy there YouTube, this is T Walker aka Tanner going to do a video today. This is part of the new player video series, new player and P, so I don't have to write out new player every time because I'm lazy. Anyway, this one is about engaging your new players. So last time I talked about stereotypes and why they are good things for new players. Like I said in that video, they help them roleplay. This is another way, something you, the GM, can do to get them into roleplaying. And you probably are watching this video for the wrong reasons, but hey, it's a hook, it's meant to get you in. So, as a GM, you, with new players, you are in fact a Hooters waitress. In fact, there is very little distinguishing you from a Hooters waitress, besides, you don't have a rack. But, anyway, and I'll tell you why. Because, just like a Hooters waitress who is trying to get tips, you are trying to get reactions. You're trying to get role-playing from your players. Now, Hooters waitresses have two rules. Two very, very big rules, which also apply to GMing. And those two rules are single a person out and physical contact. And this is what we're going to do for GMing. Now, when your NPCs interacts with the group, the first part of the Hooters waitress motto, single a person out. Don't talk to the group, because then the group, meaning one of your players, or they'll all huddle and discuss what to do, and that's how they will react. If you single one person out and ask one single person one specific question, makes that person feel special, which is why the Hooters waitresses do it. That person will be like, two, it will force them to answer and not the group to answer, because what you don't want is the group to answer as a cohesive whole. You want fighting. You want that person to respond by themselves, right? And by addressing them and them only, you get that person to respond by themselves. Alright? Now, the difference is, you're going up to the whole group, oh, blah, 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 this and this and this happened to me, what should I do? And the whole group, they huddle, they're like, well, do we trust them, do we not trust them, blah, 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 blah. That could make sense in certain situations, but, you go up to, the cleric of the group, please, you have to help me, my children are starving, blah, blah, blah. If you single someone out and, exclude the rest of the party, well, the rest of the party might want to butt in, right? But they'll know that they're not being talked to. It's the cleric that's being talked to. The cleric is who's important right now. And because, one, the cleric feels special, and two, they know that this person is talking to them, they're the ones that's going to answer. And they're not going to answer as to what the group might want, which will make good role-playing. Alright, so that was the first one. First most important thing is single them out. Now, the second, rule in the Hooters motto is physical contact. If you want tips, the most important part is physical contact. Now, Hooters waitresses do it by putting a hand on your shoulder, acting interested in you, but just physically engaging the players, that's going to produce role-playing. And let's go into that a little bit. So, if you have a situation, the person is, begging the player, please, please, I need you to do this, won't you do this for me? Now, the player, it's more group huddle and say, no, we don't have time, we don't want to, I don't trust them, whatever. However, now if you guys are all in the same room, I do it over Skype, so it's a little bit different, and I'll get into that in a second. However, if you physically stand up, go over to the go over to the player and grab onto the shirt and pants and tug at them and say, please, please, what that's going to force them to do is physically move and say, get off me, what are you doing? Or, oh no, I'm so sorry. But they're going to react. And that's the most important part, is getting them to react. When you're doing that, they can't just say, no person is going to sit there with their hands folded, staring straight ahead and not do anything when you're grabbing onto them and be like, please, can't you help me? Right? So, physical contact for that reason. Now, not only physical contact and you yourself as the DM, but your NPCs. And that's the most important part. When a player's character is being grabbed on an NPC, he's not gonna, walk around with the, NPC latched onto his leg. He's going to have to do something and say something as he's doing it to get that NPC off his leg. Which is, that's a good deal. You just force them to respond where they otherwise wouldn't. Right? If there is no physical contact, they can just walk away. If there is physical contact, they cannot walk away and cannot ignore the situation, which is good. Alright, now, if you are doing your game over Skype and have new players, physical contact still works. You just aren't there to, as a GM, literally physically grab onto them. But like I said, your characters are. And that's what's going to, be important. Because your characters are going to latch onto their characters or rush at their characters or, grab the character by the wrist, and that's going to force them to respond. Not always in a way you might expect. If maybe the NPC you have is like rushing at them to throw them at their feet, but the party doesn't know that, and they take out their sword because they're so used to killing everything that moves and cut him down, and oh crap, well I just cut down a person who wasn't really bad. Ooh, that's going to create some good role playing. So anyway, this has been T Walker, aka Tanner, going over why, as a GM handling new players, you should be like a Hooters waitress. Anyway, I'm signing off. And wait.